Good afternoon, dear students. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So let's try to solve few more questions based on this electrostatic force. So assume a situation that there is a charge. There are two masses over here. Uh, let's say this is some object A. This is some object B. Okay, direction fixed separation R. Direction fixed separation R. Now initially this charge Q. Okay, this charge, this sphere A was having some charge plus Q, and this was having 0. Now what we want is that we want to simply redistribute the charge. We want to redistribute the charge among A and B. Okay, as in that these are identical spheres. We want to redistribute the charge now. So here if at all I want to redistribute the charge, the question is that in what manner you have to redistribute so that the force is maximum. Previously, in the given case, force was how much? 0. But now, definitely they'll repel. This is force on A due to B. This is force on B due to A. This is force on B due to A. They'll definitely repel, right? So, the question is, if at all it is divided into two parts, such that they experience maximum electrostatic repulsion when placed at a certain distance. So, find the division. Okay, that means now if the new charge is Q1 and if this new charge is Q2, Q1 is equal to how much? Q2 is equal to how much? So that F is maximum. So that F is maximum. Did you get the point?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So here, let me assume that this I'm giving the sphere to some charge Q. So what will be left now? Because the charge is conserved, I can say that here Q minus Q will be left. Now what do you know about the force? Force is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2, that is Q minus Q into Q. By distance is R square. Here they want the force to be maximum. Force, when the force is maximum, what we can say here, this force is a function of charge. So can we say that the derivative of charge is equal to 0? The derivative of force with respect to charge is 0. So this implies d by dq of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So we know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is a constant. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught r square is also a constant. D by dq of, let's multiply this. This will be qq, capital Q small q minus small q square is equal to 0. So from here, derivative of this will be how much? Q into 1 minus 2 into Q into, yeah, that will be simply 2Q will be equal to 0. So from this we can say that Q is equal to capital Q by, that is force is maximum when the charge is divided into two equal parts, that is Q must be divided into two equal parts. Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
So, could you explain it again from the part where you wrote when force is maximum dF by dq equal to 0?
I didn't get you.
Could you explain it from the part where you wrote dF by dq equal to 0? Why we took that, I didn't understand.
You see, in any function, y as a function of x, we either have a maxima or a minima when, if this is y, f is equal to y as a function of x. So this will happen when f dash of x is equal to 0. Are you getting the point?
Yes, the slope of the curve at that point will be 0.
That is what? That is dy by dx must be equal to 0. At maxima,
Okay, so understood.
dy by dx must be equal to 0. That's the primary condition. Then after that, for maximum, we say d square y by dx square must
D
be
square less than 0.
here. D square y by dx square must be
Be greater than 0.
Greater than 0.
for the point. That's why I have to df by dq is equal to 0.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Good. Now let's consider another example over here. Now this example says that there are certain charges placed on some axis. Okay, there are certain charges placed on some x-axis. Okay. It is said that the charge q is placed at x equal to 0. Charge q is placed at x is equal to 0 along the x-axis. Charge 4q is placed at x equal to l. Understood? So this is given. So find, the question is find where another charge q is to be placed on x-axis so that net force as at x equal to 0 is 0. Net force at x equal to 0 is 0. That means, let me name these charges. Let me call this as A. Let me call this as B. They're asking us to place another charge Q at some point on the axis so that the net force is 0. Now let's assume a situation that I am placing this charge Q somewhere over here. If I place it over here, if I place the charge Q at some point C, will it make any sense?
No, sir.
No, sir, because
It
yes,
will
it
be
won't
on
make any sense.
the opposite side of
Force
x.
So it cancels out the force.
Yes, sir.
it to be to the left. So here, it doesn't make any sense by putting it on the right side. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Now, should I put it in the middle in the given case?
No, sir. Again, it doesn't make any sense.
Again, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. Placing it over here. So, what should I do? I have to put it to the left, to the right.
Left side of
If I put this charge Q at some point C, where its position is, let's say, because it is on the negative side of the x-axis, let me call it as minus r. If at all it is at minus r, then what we can say, definitely force on A due to C in the given case will be opposite to this, it will be towards right. Are you getting the point? This
Yes.
is due to A. This is force on C due to A. So there are very good chances that the net force on A will be 0. Is that right? Now, can you
Yes,
see
sir.
force on A due to B in the given case? It is 1 by 4 pi
yes,
Q1 Q2, that is
4q square by l square.
Q. Pi. Distance is L square. In which direction is the force? Minus I cap.
minus I.
Where is force on A due to C? That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2. Q into Q by distance is R square. In which direction? Positive direction.
Plus I cap.
Plus a cap. So total force on A will be equal to how much? Force on A due to B plus force on A due to C. And we know that this must be equal to 0.
Equal to 0.
That's what they want. That's what they want given. So as per this logic, what we can say? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 4q square by L square in minus I cap direction plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by R square in plus I cap direction is equal to 0. So if you simply compare the magnitudes, what we can say here, this will be 4q square by L square is equal to q square by R square. Q square also I can cancel. So we can say that R is equal to L, R square is L square by 4, R is equal to L by 2. So actually being specific, here this should be R must be under root of L square by 4. So that will be plus or minus L by 2. Is that right? But in the given case, can R be equal to minus L by 2?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir, it cannot
Because
be
it has to be
because
placed on left side of.
yes,
Yes, sir.
Minus L by 2 it will
Not get net force
we
to
have
be 0, sir, in that case.
R. So we say R is equal to L by 2. Second cancel. Got the point? So like that, in the given question, what they'll do is that they'll give two charges and they'll ask where should be the third charge to be placed so that it will be at equilibrium, or they'll ask what should be the charge that must be placed at a particular point so that the net force is zero. Understand the logic?
yes, sir.
That is, it must be placed at x equal to minus L by x equal to minus R is equal to minus L by 2 is a charge C, x coordinate of charge C. Shall I give you a homework similar to this?
Yes, sir.
Right here itself. Homework question. So two charges are placed already on x-axis. If this is x-axis, they have placed the charge. Let's say this is plus 5q and this is minus 3q. Okay, this is minus 3q. You're getting the point. This is a negative charge. This is at x is equal to 0. This is at x equal to L. So the question is, where must be an electron placed so that it do not experience any net force, so that it may not experience any force. Got the point. So this time they want to place another electron, and that too, that electron must not experience any force. Will you try it, or should I explain?
Yes. Will try, sir.
So there are three possibilities. Okay, this minus E can be here, minus E can be here in this region, or minus E can be here. So see where it is possible. Can we place it point PQR? Let me call it as PQR. Can we place it at point Q? Q doesn't make any sense. Let's give it different names. Let's call this as A. This is B. Let's call this as C. Let's call this as D. Let's call this as C. Does D make sense here?
No, sir.
Because force on A due to D is towards left. At the same time,
Yes,
force D due to
Yes,
B
sir. Both of them are in the same line.
both of them in the same direction.
doesn't make any sense. So this is not valid. It's not correct. Does it make any sense to the left at C?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Why?
Again,
No, it
they'll be in the
doesn't.
same direction.
Please.
They'll again be in the same direction. So
Force on C due to B is to the left. It could.
Oh, okay, yes.
Why didn't you place it at C? It is a very good chance, right?
So the magnitude will be less.
So FCA is greater than FCB, no matter wherever you place. Force on C due to A will be greater than force on C due to B. So that's why this is also not possible. Are you getting the point? So coming to here, what we can say, if at all it is placed at E, then the negative charge will repel it, the positive charge will attract it. But the thing is, the positive charge is far, though its magnitude is large, it is far, right? So there are very good chances for them to be equal. Got the point? So this is the correct point. At E, you have to try for it. So assume the overall distance as R, then from that you calculate. Okay, you assume that X is equal to minus R plus R, and from that you calculate the answer. Okay. So I've given you the guidance. You try this.
Sure, sir.
Done? Now
Yes,
let's,
sir.
let's take some example. Okay, and calculate the force in vector form. Okay, here we'll be trying to solve it in vector form. So assume that these are the coordinate axes. Okay, this is the origin O. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. Okay, so let me place some charge Q over here. For ease of understanding, I am taking equal charges, charge Q over here, and place it at a point A, 0, 0. This origin, instead of origin, I will call it as A, 0, 0. Now I will place another charge Q at the B, whose coordinates are A, 0. That means this separation is A. So can we write the force on A due to B here? You know that force on A due
Yes.
to B is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1, Q2, charge of A
Square by A square.
times position of A minus position of B, position of A minus position of B by position of A minus position of B magnitude whole cube. Is that right? If you do this, what will you get? Just for practice, I'm writing this. Actually, this all is not necessary. This will be here. What is position of A minus position of B? Position of A is 0 I cap plus 0 j cap. Whereas position of B is AI cap plus 0 j cap. So that will be simply minus AI cap. is position of A minus position of B. So that is, what's the magnitude of this? Magnitude of this will be simply A. Okay, so that is force on A due to B to B will be equal to how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 Q square times vector is minus A I cap by A cube. So you can leave this as, write this as how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q square by A square in minus I cap direction. So we could have said this directly because charges are Q, distance is A, and we know that force on A due to B, because both of them are of the same nature, it is repulsive. Is that right? So this is the force on A due to B. This is the force on B due to A. Is that okay? If you want force on B due to A, simply put a negative sign. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q square by A square in positive I cap direction. Now let me consider another charge over here. Let's say another charge of Q is placed at some coordinate C, and this forms an equilateral triangle, such that this forms an equilateral triangle. So what should be the coordinates of C? A by 2 comma root 3A by 2. Is that right? So here definitely C will exert force on A as well as B. So here if you want force on A due to C, what we can say is this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught QA QC by R square, so RAC square times position of A with respect to C here. If I write vector at the top, then it should be cube at the bottom. Is that okay? So here, position of A minus position of C, that will be how much? 0 I cap plus 0 J cap minus of C is at A by 2 I cap plus root 3A by 2 J cap is its position vector. So this will be minus A by 2 I cap minus root 3A by 2 J cap is the position of A with respect to C. You can simply call this as RAC. Then what will be the magnitude of RAC here? Nachiket, can you tell this?
Yes, sir, it will be under root of minus A by 2 whole square plus minus root
It
3
will be A
A
only,
by
no,
2
sir?
whole square.
Yes, it will be simply nothing but A. From the diagram, you can simply say that this will be how much? A. Because the separation between them is directly given as A over here.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The value of A, this distance. So got this as A. So where will be the force now? The force on A due to C will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Charges are Q, right? So Q square by A cube into minus A by 2 I cap minus root 3A by 2 J cap. So that is nothing but minus cos 60. Is that right? Yeah. Minus cos 60 and minus sin 60. Correct. So here, this will be the force on A due to C. This is the force on C due to A. And definitely C and B will also repel each other. But here we are not interested in that. Here we are not representing that. This is force on A due to C. And this is force on C due to A. Is that okay? in the given diagram, can we calculate the net force on A? Because there are two other charges. Force on A due to B, we calculated. Force on A due to C, we have calculated. If you want the total force on A, in the presence of C and B, what do we do? We simply use the superposition principle. Is that right? So that will be how much? Shall I solve it here? Yes. So simply superposition principle. Total force on A is force on A due to B plus force on A due to C. Okay, this will be how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square in I cap direction. Plus this is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square into 1 by 2 I cap. So minus 1 by 2 I cap minus root 3 by 2 j cap. Is that right?
Yes.
Now here, what we'll do is that let's add this. This will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square into 1 plus uh, sorry here
1 by 2 I cap.
this is minus I cap. Okay, so this is minus 3 by 2 I cap minus root 3 by 2 j cap is the force on A. But what do you know is that since force on A will be equal to magnitude of force times its unit vector, any vector must be represented as magnitude and direction. So for that, what I'll do is that I'll write it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Let me take root 3 common. What benefit you get out of taking root 3 common? This will be minus root 3 by 2 I cap minus 1 by 2 j cap. You can see that this is a unit vector, right? This part will be f cap. Are you getting the point? So this is a unit vector. Just now Nachiket answered, right? Here this will be under root a by 2 whole square plus 3a by 2 whole square will be a. So this will be the unit vector. And this will be the magnitude of A. Got the point? So this is the final answer, net force on A. So it is root 3 times q square by a square, and it is in which direction? Minus root 3 by 2 I cap plus this one. So what I'll do is that I'll say root 3 q square by 4 pi epsilon naught a square into, can I call it as minus cos 30 I cap minus sin 30 I cap? Yes, that is very much correct. Previously, force on C due to A, this we have called it as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square into, this was minus cos 60 I cap minus sin 60 j cap. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? Here, I just explained it with the help of diagram. Let me highlight this. We know that this is an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle means this angle is 60 degrees. If this angle is 60 degrees, then what must happen? A, force on A due to C is what? It is making an angle of 60 degrees. But what? In the negative quadrant, right? Are you getting this? So this is making an angle of 60 degrees. 60 degrees with the negative x-axis. That's why this x coordinate is minus cos 60 I cap and this is minus sin 60 j cap. Did you get the point?
Yes.
Now, if you want to calculate the resultant in the given case, what you can simply say, the resultant is nothing but the vector sum of these two forces. Simply the vector sum of these two forces. In the given case, how do you write it? So this must give us the resultant. So the resultant in the given case will be this one. This is the total force on A. For the point, this is the total force on A. And now this is making an angle of how much? 30 degrees with the horizontal. That's why we got the unit vector as minus cos 30 and minus sin 30 j cap. Is that okay? So this is how we solve for forces in vector form.
Sir, could you once more explain it from the part where you resolved the force on A into the magnitude of force on A and the unit vector? I didn't understand that. The part highlighted in green.
Can you please ask again? I didn't hear it properly.
Could you explain the part highlighted in green, sir?
Highlighted in green. The force on A is the nothing but the vector sum of A and B, right? A and C, right? So here I have constructed a parallelogram and I said that this is the resultant. Now coming to here, any vector will be written as magnitude and direction, right?
Yes.
So this part is magnitude and this part is direction. That's what I mean.
Okay, sir.
Direction must always be a unit vector. What the point?
Yes.
That's why I have taken a unit vector. Okay. Frankly speaking, I could have taken root 3 by 2 also common, right? But if I take 2 common, will it be a unit vector?
No.
No.
No. That's why I left it to there itself, took only root 3 common, so that I get a magnitude and direction. So FA, it is a vector. Are you done copying?
1 minute, sir.
Now, in fact, this question can be solved in a simpler manner. Okay, because this was a very simple question, right? all they wanted is that there are three charges given. They're placed on equivalent triangle, and they wanted for the force. So I'll do it here. Okay, I'll do it here in a simpler manner. I'll just try to complicate it. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, here the same question. Let's see how I do it, and I request all of you students to master this skill also, master this technique also. You see, in simple terms, so there are charges q placed over here. Q placed over this distance is a. So here we are calling this as a b c. A b c. So what I'll do is that we know that this will be the force on a due to b. This will be the force on a due to b. So what I'll say is this is the force on a due to b. Okay, so I'll simply say that force on a due to b is F. Force on a due to b is F. So for writing, so I'll say let F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square, if I call it as F. Okay, and here force on a due to c will be how much? It will be along this line. So this should also be how much? F. This should also be F, because 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square is F. And what's the angle over here? This angle is 60 degrees.
60.
So this angle over here, it is 60 degrees. This angle over here, it is 60 degrees. Now, do you remember the result? That if at all we have F and F, the resultant is how much? If the angle is making theta, then the resultant is given as cos theta by 2. Remember this logic?
Oh, yes.
It was there in the kinematics and stuff.
Yes, very good, correct. Here, if we want to calculate the net force, what will simply say? We know that it will bisect through this. The net force is going to bisect this angle. It is going to bisect this angle 30 degrees and 30 degrees. And the value of this F resultant will be how much? Fr or F net. F net is equal to 2F cos. What's the angle? 60, right? 60 by 2. 2F cos 30. Cos 30 means root 3 by 2. So that means the net force on A is root 3 times F. That will be how much? Root 3 q square by 4 pi epsilon naught A square. In fact, that's what we got as our answer, right? After doing so much of process. And that too, where is the direction? The direction is bisecting. So if you want to simply write the net force, this will be on A. Okay, net force will be how much? Magnitude and direction, right? 3 cube by 4 pi epsilon naught A square times minus cos 30 I cap minus sin 30 j cap. That's our answer. Minus root 3 by 2 I cap minus 1 by 2 j cap. This is the answer. So this is the total force on A.